everyone, I'm international swing dance instructor Bobby White, and this is Turning Technique for your solo jazz. So the first thing we're going to talk about is pivoting. What do I mean by pivoting? Pivoting is the ability of your foot to move and twist on the ground, even when there's weight on it. And so here, this foot is pivoting. Now when we say you want your foot to be able to pivot, we don't mean that you should force it to pivot. You shouldn't be going into turns thinking, I will pivot my foot. That is a way to do a turn. However, for the most part, you want natural movement. So you want your body to turn first, and you want your foot to have the ability to pivot. And if it does have the ability, then when you move your body, your foot's pivoting will soon follow. Once you master this pivoting technique, I think you will find it is a pivotal part of your turning technique. The ability to both grip and pivot is one reason why it's actually kind of hard to find a good pair of swing shoes. Historically, what we've done is leather-soled shoes or rubber shoes with really gentle rubber. Keds, for instance, has a rubber that rubs off into a nice polish that allows for both grip and pivoting. Another thing you can do is you can have chrome leather put on your shoes, or suede. Suede which rubs off and becomes chrome leather. That also allows you good pivoting and grip. So now we're going to talk about keeping our posture during our turn. This is actually one of the most helpful tips you can have on your turning, especially if you want to do multiple turns in a row. Now once you get down good turning technique, you can change your posture in your turns for some really interesting, cool effects. But first, get the basic, good, solid turning down. And so, if you remember our posture, it is knees nice and relaxed, hips slightly back. So we're just going to try to keep this posture while we turn. When you don't keep your posture, what you're probably doing is allowing either this pelvis to move forward or these shoulders to fall back, both of which produce the same effect. But it'll make you teeter-totter around on the floor, and if you watch yourself on video, you would see that you don't stay on one point very easily. So just keep your basic posture. So now we're going to talk about turning over your center. Here's what I mean. Anytime we turn, we're turning around a pivot point. So for instance, if I turned and made my right foot the pivot point, it would look like this. I want you to notice something about this. I want you to notice that my right hip doesn't move very much and my left hip moves quite a lot. When we turn over our center, we're turning over the middle of our body. So imagine having a kebab skewer here and here, so that it goes straight through your body. When we practice moving around our center, imagine keeping that kebab stick perfectly in place. When you do this, notice that now your hips should be moving equally. Now, this is not only great as a literal exercise to help you with balance and self-awareness, it's also fantastic for when you're out there in the jungle of solo jazz. So if you're out there dancing, you may do a move like this. And if you look at that move, you can say to yourself, well, since you're turning over the left foot, then surely the left foot is the pivoting point. Now, and that may be, but what I'm thinking about in my head is turning over my center. I'm thinking about moving both my hips at the same time. Doing so, I feel, gives me a lot of control, a lot of balance, and it allows me to stick landings very solidly. And so, there you go, turning over your center. Now you can practice turning over your center from home. Just take a quarter or some kind of change, put it on the ground, and first you can look at it while you turn. Making sure to keep each hips moving equally. Once you've mastered that, or recovered from the nausea, you can then keep your head up while you do it. Once again, concentrating on keeping your hips moving equally. So, now we're going to put this together. We're just going to dance around to a song, and we're going to occasionally turn. You can turn on one foot, you can turn on the other foot. You can turn while you're stepping. You can turn slowly, you can turn fastly. But no matter what, just practice the 3 techniques we talked about. Allowing your feet to pivot, having good posture and keeping it through your turning, and 3, knowing how to turn over your center. The song we're listening to is Paramour by Gordon Webster, with Naomi Uyama on vocals.
Don't you come around here no more. If I see your face again, I may not remember when you
Because if I grip my foot to the floor when I'm trying to turn, then my body's going to leave my foot behind in this position. Now I know what you're saying, but Bobby, this looks really, really cool.